Hey guys, hope you're having a good night. So I just want to pull some cards. I'm like having this like strong pulling to do a reading tonight. So I just get the vibe like people need some messages. There's a lot of people who are feeling really like low, feeling really depressed, feeling really angry. There's a lot of guilt and shame coming up or has been coming up for you. Choices that you made in the past that you almost defined yourself by, like subconsciously. Like for some of you it feels like you made yourself feel like you're unworthy or you're a bad person or there's something that wasn't good about you, pretty much is what I'm getting. The way, interpret that the way you will, but it's like something that you did that you internalized that made you feel like a bad person or you're not a good person or you're not deserving or multiple things or whatever. So a lot of that's coming up for you to release it and let it go, for you to see that you're not the person you thought you were. You're not this like bad person just because you made a choice or a mistake. And a lot of you guys should be getting clarity and understanding of why. This feels like a guilty, like something that you've been feeling guilty about for a while that keeps coming up over and over and over. And like, if you've tried to ignore it or you've tried to release it or let it go, it still was coming up. So this is for a lot of you guys, you're actually closing that cycle out. For some of you, what they're saying is like repressed feelings, repressed emotions are coming up to kind of help you see something that you've been distracting from, something that you've been ignoring, something that it feels like a lot of emotional pain, but it almost feels like you having a wall up or blocking yourself from something you want. For some of you, it feels like this, and this might be more than one thing for you, could be all of these or one or, whatever, is like hiding yourself in the shadows, like not fully speaking your truth, not fully being who you are, not being like transparent with who you are, like thinking you need to act certain ways around certain people or say certain things around certain people, or areas of yourself where you don't like them, so you try to hide them from other people, but they seem to still keep coming out. And it's because Spirit's trying to show you that it's okay to be you fully. And the right people are going to love you for you. The wrong people are going to show you that they're the wrong people. They're going to show you how they're using you. They're going to show you that they don't actually accept you or love you the way you are. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. Sometimes like you have relationships, any type of relationship, friendship, family, coworker, romantic, whatever. And they aren't all meant to be lasting. Like it doesn't matter how long you've known these people. It doesn't always mean that it's supposed to be this lasting relationship. And I get the feeling like a lot of people are getting kind of this like fine tuning of their relationships and really seeing like, what is it that I want? What type of, they're saying the word security, like what type of security is it that I want? And what does that like look like so I can actually get it? For some of you guys, it also feels like these future goals, and some of you are focusing so much on the future goal, you're supposed to be focusing on the present moment, like, and staying in alignment and staying in truth with this, right? So what is it that you want for the future? And what are you doing now that's reflecting that? So it's when certain opportunities, certain things come up and present themselves to you now. Are you walking away from things that are the opposite of what you want? And that's what staying in alignment is. Staying in alignment means your behaviors and your actions are matching what it is that you want, which means releasing people and situations that don't align with what you want, and walking away from opportunities or things that aren't fully in alignment with what you want, not settling, and being patient and trusting the process more. Spirit is saying like a lot of you guys feel very impatient. You're wanting to kind of run away. You're feeling very uncomfortable. For some of you, it feels like this long-term waiting energy where you've kind of been waiting and waiting and waiting. So there's a lot of doubt or a lack of faith or a lack of trust because of that. It's okay to feel that way. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way, but look at what is happening. And I got this message kind of earlier for the collective, which is, so we'll use the magnet system, right? This is the kind of analogy they gave me, which is you're a magnet. What you want is a magnet, but in the middle of that magnet is your walls. In the middle of that magnet is your conditioning and your trauma. So what's happening is you can't like automatically attract what it is you want because there's walls and things that are still there. And a lot of it is fear energy. A lot of it is belief systems and thoughts that really are preventing this from happening. And once you clear these cycles, which a lot of you guys are clearing right now, which is why you're feeling so heavy, because you're feeling all those old repressed feelings and emotions and shit you haven't dealt with. That's why it feels very heavy. Once you clear that out, that wall gets lifted and what you want automatically comes in for you, and things are going to become more peaceful. Things are going to feel better. And if you've noticed when things are coming back up, because a lot of triggers are coming up right now, when if you've noticed a lot of the triggers that are coming back up, you're able to see them for what they are. You're able to handle them better. You're able to do things different, or you're able to acknowledge it's a problem and like handle it in a different way. And for some of you, Spirit saying it's like you're also now like taking responsibility for your life. You're taking responsibility for the choices you've made. You're taking responsibility for where you're going to be, for the life. Ooh, we got the new beginnings card. For your life and how it is because of the decisions you've actually made. So, okay. On the bottom, we got balance. I feel like we get a lot of balance energy lately in the cards with destiny and patience. Hold on. They want me to put, ooh, love begins. Definitely some romance energy I was getting earlier for like soul connections and stuff. I don't really want to talk about it right now, but if like a card or something comes out, I'll talk about it. Okay, so a lot of you guys are bringing balance in your life. Things are very imbalanced right now. They're going to feel that way because you're clearing blockages and you're releasing certain things, and it kind of might feel chaotic or might feel stuck or just kind of really not moving. It depends on kind of where you are and what's going on in your cycle, right? But in that process, you're balancing. In that process, things are clearing and recalibrating and stuff like that. So with this patience and destiny card, this is literally what I was just talking about, is like what you want is still coming for you. It takes longer sometimes because it's part of the journey. I'm going to say it like this because it's easier for me to talk from this perspective. Like, so for me, there's certain things that I've been wanting for years, right? And one of the I had this purging yesterday, and one of the kind of messages I got in that was, I don't want to get into all of what it was, but I was feeling like uncomfortable and feeling like whatever. And I was just like, I've been staying in alignment. I've been doing all these things, and it just still feels like nothing comes from me. And kind of the message that I got was, do you know how hard that is when you're not getting the results you want for over a year, but you're not chasing, but you're not going out of alignment, and you're still doing what you want, and you're not giving up on it or running away? Do you know how hard that is? Like, you should be appreciating that. And it made me realize certain things actually about myself, that I've been growing and healing and building that stronger foundation within myself, which is why I don't have the business things I want, and why I'm having certain feelings about my business and stuff like that. And realizing that I'm still actually moving forward, I'm still building, and even though I'm not having those results and those things that I'm wanting right now, like, there is other things that are transpiring to help me, so when it does come in, I'll be good with it. Like, it will be stable and it will be bigger than I even, imagined. And when I first thought about it, when I first thought about like moving and growing and, all this stuff, it was very kind of small. And now it just keeps in my mind growing bigger and bigger and bigger as I'm stepping into my power, which is another message I got earlier about us. But as I'm stepping into my power, my vision and what I want is actually way bigger than I initially thought, because I was so scared of, if I had seen this bigger vision before, I would have been so scared to receive it. I wouldn't have felt like I can handle it. Now I'm just like, give me that shit, The whole thing with standing in your power, shining your light, like a lot of you guys have, I know I kind of said this before, like repressing parts of who you are. You might be triggering other people. The more you stand in your power, the more you're going to realize the relationships that aren't good for you, but the more you're also going to trigger other people, because as you're shining your light, you're also shining that light on their darkness and those areas within themselves that they aren't dealing with. So make sure you're just kind of listening to your body, listening to your energy, and doing what's best for you. And that they just brought up another message. I posted this last night on Instagram and Facebook, like the stories, and I was explaining how we need to start listening to our body more. Like, when this comes to sleeping, eating, exercising, everything. If your body is craving more food, then eat more food. If it's craving food, your surprise is craving it. It's not an emotional, craving. It's actually your body craving it, then fucking eat it. Like, if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat. If you're not tired or you're not able to sleep, then just fucking relax and don't sleep. Like, stop trying to force these things on you that you've been told, like, you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep, or this and this and this is going to happen. How many times have you been unable to sleep? You've gotten 4 hours of sleep and you still function fine. How many times have you gotten 8 hours of sleep and you're groggy as fuck, or gotten 10 hours of sleep and you're groggy as fuck? It's like listening to your body and seeing naturally what you need, not what you've been told. Not just exercising and sleeping and eating around what you've been told. It's listening to you. Also, they're saying pay attention to your energy when you're around certain people, because you're going to pick up on a lot more stuff if you do that. Now, for people who feel other people's energy, be mindful of what is yours and what is other people's. So, and I say that because they told me to, but also because this relates to me. I've always felt people's energy pretty strong, but for like a few months, they were kind of having me blocked a little bit, and I was kind of dealing with my own stuff, and then I was dealing with collective stuff. Nope, now I'm kind of getting people's stuff back again, and I didn't realize I was getting it, so I keep processing and feeling all this shit like it's my own, and I could be sitting at my house dealing with this, and I'm just like, wait a minute, is this mine? Why am I processing something that's not mine? So, like, there's a purpose to that too. But yeah, so just be more mindful of your energy when you're around certain people, when you're talking to certain people, even certain activities you're doing, certain things you're doing. If you're feeling repelled from something, then stay the fuck away from it. Like, listen to yourself about everything. Even if you don't understand it, you don't need to understand it, okay? And I just want you to know, like, Spirit is saying, like, what you want and what is meant for you will come. Patience, they say, like, patience is required. I mean, you don't have to be patient, but if you're not patient, you're just making it harder on yourself by not being patient, because then you're causing all this pressure on yourself and all this stress and all this tension that's just fucking unnecessary. Like, what you want is going to happen for you at the time it's meant for you. That's what I was going to say earlier. I forgot. And like, for me, where my mindset has been for months now is, if it was meant for me right now, I'd have it right now. If it's not meant for me right now, it means I'm not ready for it in some capacity. And it's funny because as time continues to progress and things like move forward, I start realizing I can see why I haven't gotten this yet. Oh, now that came up. I could definitely see why I haven't gotten this yet, because there would have been something that wouldn't have been super solid with it. So we're building solid foundations within ourselves. So when it comes in, we will receive it. We will accept it. That wall will be gone. We'll have that safety, we'll have that trust within ourselves, with that situation, all of that. So you're building that, and you're breaking down anything that stands in the way of that. It takes time. It takes time, but we don't like to wait. And if you're being impatient, I used to do the same thing. So if you're being impatient, what I found for myself was I was trying to avoid certain emotions or feelings. And I thought that, oh, well, if this would just come in, then I wouldn't feel like this. The thing is, if that came in, I would still feel like that, because that energy and emotion would still be there. It would just manifest in a different way in that situation. So if you're feeling like you need something, look at what you're afraid of feeling right now, or what you're trying to avoid right now, what discomfort you're not wanting to sit in, what you're not wanting to accept, where you're putting certain emotions or responsibility or things like that onto somebody else or onto a situation. Okay, we got new beginnings, heartache, and loss, and rest and rejuvenate. This is to the side a little bit. Happy Taurus season, by the way. I love that Taurus season starts on 420. I always think it's funny. Like, I only realized that, I think like a year or two ago, that Taurus season starts on 420. And I'm like, how perfect is it? Because we're known as like the very grounded, chill ones. And like, every fucking meme is that we love food, which is not incorrect, but we're more than just foodies, but we're pretty foodie too. Like, most of us are definitely foodies. So I'm like, the holiday, the unofficial holiday where it's like chillax day, you know, connecting to Mother Earth's fucking natural elements and eating good ass food. And I'm like, love that Taurus season starts on that day. So, okay. And I do get though, like, and I know I've said this before, but I do get like, you're going to start seeing stuff that you want around May. You're going to start seeing certain things. It might not fully come in. I'm not getting too much clarity other than certain things are going to start coming for you in May. Okay. With this heartache and loss and rest and rejuvenate, it just feels like this grieving energy, and it feels like just letting things go. Kind of what I said before, letting things go. When you're having a lot of stuff come up though, you might feel really drained afterward. You might feel really angry. You might have a lot of heavy emotions. You might feel really tired and just drained in like shit. If you need to take time for yourself and need to take off work or need to do whatever, then take fucking time for yourself. Like, you don't need to feel guilt for it, and you don't need to be like, oh, I have to be responsible. No, yeah, you do need to be responsible, and your responsibility is taking care of yourself. A job is not fucking worth you not being okay. Like, you have to do what's best for you, okay? Like, you have to do what's best for you. I did that shit last week. Honestly, I woke up just feeling like shit, and I took off, like, I closed the store. I was just like, I cannot fucking go in today. Actually, I closed 2 days last week. I closed 2 days because I literally like woke up and I had every intention to go in, and I was just like, oh my God, I have a horrible migraine. I'm getting hit with like the worst energy. I felt so emotional. I felt so heavy, and I was like, I literally cannot. I was like, I cannot today. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going back to sleep. I'm going to relax. And that's pretty much what it is, taking care of yourself and realizing it's okay to relax, realizing like you don't need to do these mundane tasks. You don't need to do all these fucking chores, and keep your fucking house clean and work constantly and like take care of everything. Like, just also relax and fucking chill. Like, enjoy your life too. When you have a lot of heaviness coming up, make sure you're doing things that are relaxing or calming or loving to yourself. Validate yourself, you know? Yeah, I'll grab that. Okay. I bought this deck a few months ago. But I had it in my living room up until, you want me to take all that? I had it up in my, Jesus Christ. Had it in my living room up until earlier, and this dress card came out. I swear to God, something flipped upside down, but whatever. So I don't know. I kind of want to pull from that deck. I think I've only used it like 2 or 3 times. Oh, I just saw the new beginning, or the new beginnings card on the bottom. Okay, we have conditioning and innocence right there. Ooh, and we got the burden right there. Yeah, this is kind of like, it feels like some of you guys, I know I said this earlier, distraction, like that word keeps coming up from them. It feels like some of you guys are distracted. It's almost like this farce. They're saying the word farce. Like, it's this farce, like somebody putting on this front. It's like, you know, intuitively, like something's up with this person, but then they're saying, I'm going to say in quotes, they're saying or doing the right things, or they're acting like they've changed or shit like that. But like, you already know they haven't. You already know that this is bullshit, but it's almost like you're not quite sure what to trust. Go with your gut instinct on that. Go with your intuition, not what people say and do. All I keep getting is go with your intuition. It's not what people say and do, because anybody can pretend. And hold on, I'm getting like so much shit, but they're like not wanting me to say it. I think maybe sometimes they just want you guys to feel it. Okay. God, this shit's so heavy. People who don't have good intentions or who want something from you will always try to kiss your ass, will always try to say the right things, who will try to do nice things for you because they're trying to get something from you. But there's a huge difference between somebody who genuinely cares versus somebody who wants something from you. And you can feel the difference, but it's almost like you keep allowing yourself to pay attention to what they're saying and doing versus what you're intuitively feeling and what you already actually know. It's something like you already know. And they're saying like this is part of that balance of you connecting more to your truth and your intuition and your soul energy versus what the hell is going on externally. The same with also some of the things that you're wanting to, I'm going to say manifest because I don't really technically believe in manifestation, but the things you're trying to bring into you, like that you want to happen for you. It's like a lot of you guys are having those same doubts because you're not seeing them in your physical reality, but they're still going to come for you guys. Like, I promise you, like, look, like, I go through the emotional shit too. And, you know, I've been at my store for the store I've been in for almost 3 years, and April, May, June, July. Yeah, in 3 months. I've been there for 3 years, and like I've been wanting to be out of that store for 3 years. And I know what's gonna happen. I already know that. Like there are certain things that I've been asking for. Some of them I've been waiting longer than 3 years for. I already know they're gonna happen though. Like it's just not ready and it's not the right time. Like it will come at the right time. So it's like just let go of like needing it right now. Like you don't need it right now. Like you're fine. You can still like work through shit in the present moment. They keep like saying this, like focusing on the present moment, not so much the future, because you're missing all these opportunities for like awareness and healing and growth when you're focusing so much on the future. It's like, do what you want that's best for you. That's best for you. That also aligns with what you want in the future. And I know I said that, but apparently we're saying that again. They're like giving, okay, I feel like I've already given this example. They're giving me this example, so I'll just tell you guys. So it's like, if you're looking for a romantic relationship, what are your non-negotiables? What do you want for that relationship? If you meet somebody new, if they have one deal breaker, it's an automatic no. There's no settling. There's none of that bullshit. Like, and that's where staying in alignment is, because when you're letting those people go, you're telling yourself that one, you're not going to settle. You're not like disrespecting yourself. You're not disrespecting your boundaries. You're building trust within yourself. It doesn't feel comfortable when you first start doing it, but after a while, it's so normal because it becomes just another tool that you continually use. So you won't want to not be that way, you know? And it's walking away from any person that doesn't fully align with what the fuck you want. The same thing with career. If it has one thing that is in your deal breakers or your non-negotiables, it's a no. And I promise you, like when you do that, it might feel like this fear, it might feel heavier, it might feel all this shit. You're gonna release all this shit. You're gonna release all of these old emotions where you knew you were making choices that were shitty for you. Like you knew you weren't doing what was best for you and you did it anyway. And every time you're doing that, you're reparenting your inner child. You're building safety within yourself. You're building trust within your decision making. You're learning how to respect yourself, and you're building true self-respect. That's how you build self-esteem. That's how you build self-respect. That's how you build trust with yourself. And the foundation with yourself is by doing those things. And they're not always easy at first, but I promise you, after like 1 or 2 times doing them, you will feel like empowered. You'll feel great. You're going to be like, damn, I don't know why the fuck I like struggle with this or fought this so hard. And that's the whole point, is staying in alignment with what you want for the future, and then waiting for it to come in, because it means you still have things you're unblocking so you can fully have what you want. How many people run away from people that love them? How many people run away from people that actually will be there for them or show up for them, and they choose a person that's less than what they want? It's settling as fuck. It's like for comfort or whatever bullshit it's for. Fear, usually it's fear. Some type of bullshit though. And they're fucking miserable and they're unhappy. And then when they're single, they're uncomfortable because they feel lonely and they feel all this pain. But then if you go into another shitty relationship, all that emptiness is still going to be there. If you sit and you wait, you will get to that place where when that good person comes back in, you will actually accept them. You actually let them come in. But you wouldn't accept them before because you didn't think you were deserving, because you didn't think you were worthy, because you didn't think you can rise in your fucking power and actually be deserving of somebody good for you. And if you're still in settling behavior, then you're not going to accept somebody who's good for you. So that's the whole like spiel with that. But anyway, okay. With this conditioning and innocence, so a lot of you guys are releasing conditioning. You're releasing things and getting back to that place of centeredness and getting back to that place of who you were when you came here, that childlike innocence, coming back to that energy before all of the brainwashing, trauma, conditioning, bullshit came in. And as you're releasing conditioning, it's very fucking hard. It's very, I shouldn't say it's hard. It's not hard. It's uncomfortable. And it can feel very emotional and very painful because you're making decisions that feel like they're wrong, even though they're not. And that's why I keep saying, like, right after you do it, you might feel a little uncomfortable, you might feel a little anxious, you might question yourself, but breathe through those feelings, breathe through those emotions, calm yourself down, bring yourself back to center. And when you do that, you are going to feel so strong and so empowered. You're going to be like, hell yes. Like, I'm speaking from personal experience. I promise you, like, it gets so much easier, like, after you do it, and you won't even go backwards because you can't. After you found that true power within yourself, after you found that respect for yourself, after you found that love for yourself, you found that foundation with yourself, you cannot go backwards. Like, I promise you, there's no way you'll be able to go backwards. You literally won't even be able to deal with it. You won't. So anyway, we got stress, sharing, and breakthrough. I feel like I said Sharon, like the name, but I didn't. I said sharing, like I'm giving to you, I'm sharing with you. So with the stress card, I get that a lot of you guys are kind of you're like listening to other people, or you're asking other people advice too much, or you're putting other people to hold, that's the wrong way to say it. You're holding other people or situations responsible for your feelings and emotions that are your responsibility. Stop putting them on other people and dumping them on other people. If you need to talk or something, talk. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, like, if you're expecting somebody to constantly be doing stuff for you, you're expecting something out of somebody so you can feel a certain way, you're putting that responsibility on them to make you feel a certain way when it's your responsibility for you to deal with your shit to feel that way. That's what I'm talking about. But it also feels like some of you guys are just listening to other people, and you're just like, it's causing you more stress. Stop listening to other people. Start going within and listening to your fucking intuition and what it's telling you. And stop doing things that other people are saying just because they sound like they know what they're fucking talking about. Most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I don't mean that rude, but I'm not even going to go into that. You already know if that message is for you, what I'm talking about. With this sharing card, so for some of you, it definitely feels like this codependency energy. For some of you, it definitely feels like this people-pleasing energy, or trying to get people's love or people's affection. It feels like you're trying to connect with people, but you're doing it in the wrong way. Like, you're doing it in a way where you're not doing it from a place of authenticity. You're doing it from a place of like emptiness or loneliness or fear or things like that. And you're kind of projecting your trauma or your feelings onto this situation. And a lot of you guys aren't getting what you want because you're not doing it from a place of truth and empowerment. And that's why it's not working out. And even if the other person doesn't realize it, they're energetically, intuitively feeling that, which is why they're not opening or reciprocating or whatever it is. With this breakthrough card, for sure, it means what it says, but it feels like all these self-imposed and self-restricted beliefs that you have about yourself, specifically around like self-acceptance, self-respect, self-love, like your self-esteem, self-worth, like all that stuff, all those areas where you kind of repressed situations that happened to you and emotions that happened to you that made you feel those ways, and the way you internalize them, you're breaking free of those. So a lot of it is coming up, and I know I said this earlier, a lot of it feels heavy, and that's why, because it's all that old shit from the past, and you're actually feeling it and processing it and letting it go. And as you're doing that, you're going to break free. And I got this earlier, is a lot of people, once you end this cycle, it's like something's going to snap, you're going to break out of this. You might not fully feel great about everything, that's fine, but you won't be going backwards anymore or feeling like you're going backwards anymore. You're going to completely let go of that old version of you and all that self-sabotaging shit behavior, trauma response. And that's not a shame thing or whatever, you know how I talk, but it's just like all of the unhealthy ways of coping with stuff, the unhealthy ways of dealing with shit, the sabotaging, all that shit. Like, something's going to click for you, or something's going to happen, and you're just going to like be done. Like, you're done with all the bullshit, and you're going to move forward, and it's going to like, your shit's just going to start opening up and happening. That message isn't going to be for everybody, but for some of you guys who have been distracting yourselves or holding yourselves back, like, something's going to, it doesn't feel like a breakdown or like you hitting rock bottom or anything like that. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more so like just some type of epiphany or awareness, or even for some of you, it might be like some perceived fear that's not necessarily true, where you're like, okay, I know I need to do this. That was something else that I got earlier. Loving compassion. These are so hard to fucking shuffle, but they're so pretty. That was something else I got earlier, was about some of you guys seeing something and making an assumption about it that wasn't actually true. Let me figure out how to say this. Why is that one upside down? All right, let me, shit, like I just got like brain dead. Hold on. They like not blocked me, but they just started doing some shit and they shifted my energy. It was, okay, let me figure out how to say it. It was like you saw something or something was said to you and you misunderstood it, or you misheard it, or you took it in a way that it wasn't intended. And it made you think that you were losing something you wanted, or something was going to distance from you or be taken from you or something like that. There was some type of misunderstanding or whatever. It feels like you guys are in almost, though, if this message is for you, it feels like you guys are almost in this kind of heaviness because of it, which even if you misheard it, you were probably supposed to mishear it, and it was intentional because you needed to go through and see it needed to trigger something in you to see it. You get the clarity on it when you're supposed to, though. You misunderstood it or misheard it or saw it, whatever the fuck it was, but it wasn't true. It was like, they keep saying like beyond illusion. It was like an illusion. It was something just to trigger something inside you that you wouldn't fucking deal with or see or something like that. I keep getting like you didn't see, like you couldn't see, you couldn't see, you couldn't see. Okay, we got Love and Compassion. Aren't these so pretty? This is the Beyond Lumeria Oracle deck. It's fucking gorgeous. New Blueprints, which to me is like the New Beginnings card, and Soul Star Chakra merging with the Divine. Ooh, I love that. Your Soul Star Chakra is like above your crown chakra. It's like, I think it's supposed to be a pretty fuchsia color. I started getting fucking doing something with my third eye and I just started getting a headache. With this Loving Compassion, this feels like a lot of self-love, and this feels like you guys needing to kind of wrap your inner child in some love and give yourself validation and compassion. It feels like you guys are being hard on yourself, or you're like being mad at yourself. You're not really being loving or compassionate with yourself. Like, even if you're feeling depressed and you're feeling like shit, it's like you'll give yourself crap for not showering, or give yourself crap for not cleaning or going to work or whatever it is. And it's like, what the fuck just touched me? It's like, what the fuck? It's like, the hell? Y'all fucking distracting the shit out of me right now. And then my house just got calm, which means the spirit energy is gonna fucking come in. It's like almost 4 in the fucking morning right now. Okay. Calm. What you should be doing when those things are coming up is being loving and kind to yourself, is sitting there and saying, you know, I have a lot of these heavy feelings. I'm feeling really depressed. I'm feeling really sad. And this is okay. It doesn't feel good, but this is okay. And I need to take care of myself and love myself. You know, if a 5 or 6 year old was in front of you and feeling really sad or depressed, I would hope to fucking God you're not like, get your ass to fucking school, get your ass doing your chores, get your ass doing this. I would hope you would sit there and say, hey baby, what's wrong? Come here. Let me give you a hug. Like, let me give you a back rub. Like, me, I'd probably be like, do you want to go get some ice cream after we have a conversation? Like, let's talk about your emotions. Let's give you validation. Let me give you comfort. And then maybe do you want a snack to feel better? You know, I mean, you don't want like somebody to avoid their emotions and stuff. You should feel them and stuff. But also there's nothing wrong with treating yourself to something and being like, you know what, that was really hard for me to acknowledge, or that was really hard for me to work through. And like, let me give myself a little fucking treat for doing that. I've done that before. Like, I'm not even joking, where I've went through really hard periods of time, and then I'm like, you know what, let me just give myself something, because I'm like, man, I've been working so hard at just like handling this stuff, and like, you know what, I deserve something for myself. I mean, I buy myself what I want anyway, but like, I just wanted to do something nice for myself. And that's the whole point, is like, you guys should be nice to yourself and treating yourself the same way you would treat somebody else. And like I said, I would hope a child, you wouldn't do that. But if your friend or somebody you love is depressed, I hope you wouldn't be like, don't be fucking lazy, go do this, go do this. I would hope you would be understanding, like, no shit, you feel depressed, I'd feel depressed too, like, and validate them. Like, do you need help with something? Like, do you need, you know, being loving to them like you should be to your goddamn self. With this new blueprints, it feels like a lot of you guys are getting new downloads. You're getting a lot of new information, and a lot of you guys are connecting to your spiritual energy more, which goes with this merging with the divine card too, the soul star chakra. Like, a lot of you guys are getting new information. You're getting new downloads. You might be seeing moths. I've been seeing moths a lot. Not here tonight, but it was out there earlier when I went out there. But you might be seeing moths. No, nothing else. They just said moths. Okay, we're leaving it at that. You might be seeing moths if that's for you. Like, a lot more, like, it'd be just continual, and I just looked up 44, it'd be continually coming up. What they're saying, like, the moth represents a lot of times is kind of facing the darkness. It's facing the darkness and dealing with the darkness to actually help open your light up and help shine your light, which is why the moth is drawn to the light. You are the light that is being drawn to, and that's why you keep seeing it. So it's trying to bring up the darkness so your light will shine brighter. But it's helping you to connect more to your soul energy. And I know I said this earlier with the balance thing, and it's helping you to do all that together. And as these like transitions and transformations are taking place, it's very uncomfortable. It's very difficult, because you're recoding like your belief system, and you're changing who you are, and you're releasing so much shit. And like, it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of emotional work. It's a lot of energetic work, but you're doing a fucking great job, and you should be proud of yourself, and you should do something nice to yourself and give yourself some goddamn love, give yourself validation, and do some nice shit for you. Like, for real, go treat yourself to something, go do something. I don't give a shit what it is. Go do something nice for yourself. Like, I don't know why we don't do that more. I don't know why this is not something that we talk about. Like, we should be doing these type of things. But yeah, a lot of you guys are getting more information from spirit, and a lot of you guys are actually seeing it more. Like, you're understanding where it's coming from. And a lot of times it's like these random aha moments or epiphanies. It's like a random thought that comes out of nowhere, but it doesn't, it sounds like your thought, but it doesn't come in the way you think. So when you're thinking, you know, it sounds, the way it's processing in your mind is kind of not like a loop, but it's kind of just like a conversation with yourself. Whereas this is like kind of like one random thought or a random epiphany, and you could feel the energy in your body. It just clicks, and it's just like, you know it. There's no logical reasoning. You don't need to process it. You just kind of know it, and you're just like, oh, damn, like, that's you connecting. And we all get messages like that, but I think sometimes people just don't connect that it's your soul or your spirit team or whoever it is, angels, you know, whoever it is giving you messages. That's what it is. So a lot of you guys are getting these new information. You're getting these new downloads. You're getting gift upgrades. You're going through these huge ass transformations, not your actual ass, like huge, big transformations. Unless you want your ass to be big and you're going to the gym and working out or something. But no, you're going through these like big transformations and stuff like that. And it's bringing you into your truth, it's bringing you into your power, and it's helping you connect more to yourself, ultimately connect more to your soul. But also your human self, connect more to yourself, not get so much information outside of you and validation and all this stuff, like getting it from within. And a lot of you, it feels like there's a few groups with this, but some of you guys are in my group where we've been in this energy for like 6, 8, 10 fucking months, where we've been really just wanting to stay to ourselves a lot, and just really deal with shit on our own. And then there's another group that's kind of like been in it for a little while, but they're kind of going into it like a little bit more, where they're needing that time alone to process and feel it. And there's another group who's not even in this at all. So like, yeah, I mean, the only people who'd be watching that now are probably people that this message ain't meant for. I'm not even gonna get into what I wanted to say because I can feel their energy, but we'll leave that alone. But yeah, so I noticed for me, I'm becoming a little bit more social coming out of it a little bit. But if I'm gonna be honest, I actually really enjoy my own company and I really enjoy being by myself. So I still like hanging out with people and talking to people, but I very much enjoy being at home and relaxing, or, well, not relaxing so much lately, but just, you know, like being here. It's nice. It's comfortable. Being a Taurus, we like our comfort zones. All right, let me just pull like another thing from the angels. We got compromise, which is the balance card. So we're definitely getting a lot of balance stuff. I know there's another one or two that wants to come out. This is like my workout. Man, this is like hurting my fucking forearm, dude. What the fuck? There we go. No need to worry. There's still another card. Yeah. Be assertive. Okay. We got ask for help from others and look for a sign on the bottom. Ask your spirit team for help, guys. Like, ask your spirit team for help and they'll give you answers and clarity. They'll give you signs. They'll give you messages. Like, you don't need to do it all yourself. Like, I don't know why the fuck people don't ask them. And they, like, laugh because they're like, you can't, ask us for whatever the fuck you want. Like, we're here to help you. Like, you're not going to ask for too much shit. Like, I promise you, I literally ask them for everything. I get hit with heavy energy almost every day. Very rarely do I not get hit with it. For like at least the last like year or two, I've been getting hit with it pretty much every day. So when I'm getting hit with it, I'm like, can you guys please calm this energy down? It is so fucking intense right now. Or can you help me figure out what to do so I can calm it down? I ask them about, what do I need to do with this for my business? What do I need to do about this? Like, do I always get the answers? Most of the time I do. Like, I'll ask them for fucking parking spots. Like, I've been having some shit going on with my car. Like, and then I was having all this shit when I was sleeping last night and this morning with all this fear energy with my car. So I woke up this morning and I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to go drive the fucking car because I got to get coffee. I'm tired. But I was like, if something's wrong with my car where I shouldn't be driving it, because I was thinking about going to Tampa because like one of the vegan places I love had this like 420 menu and it looked so fucking sick. It looks so good. And I was like, you know, if I shouldn't drive, like, let me know, because I'm not really sure, you know, like, it just, when I started, it just, I don't know, it seems off or whatever. Go to fucking start the car. I asked them like a minute or two before I went. I go to start the fucking car. And by the way, I'm very specific because I say, I need you to have it be like something that tells me definitively the answer, because they don't usually give me those answers like mentally, like it's in the human shit, because it's not necessarily like a soul message, soul path thing. Those are downloads I get that work through that. When it's human shit, I don't get the answers like that. I get them just going through the normal human shit like we all do. So I say, like, specifically, I need you guys to give me like 100% clarity because y'all know how I think. So if it's something like a little bit, I'm going to overthink, whatever, however I'm going to process it. So I go to start the car wouldn't fucking start like 3 times. I was like, all right, thank you. So I fucking reach out to my mechanic, got that all resolved and shit like that. But it gave me almost a sense of like resolution within myself too, because it's something that I've kind of had like in the back of my mind, where the mechanic I had come out like a month ago, he did like a diagnostic a bunch of times, but like, and then really not an answer. So it kind of just is still sitting there or whatever. And I kind of think I knew something was up, but I just didn't know what it was and, you know, whatever. So yeah, I got the fucking answer today and the clarity today, which, you know, but I asked them for everything. I asked them for fucking parking spots. I asked them for shit like that. I asked them for whatever. And I always just make, not that they're going to give it to me in the wrong way, but I always just say, can you like make sure you give it to me in a way that I'm going to understand it the first fucking time. So yeah, like ask them for whatever you want. Like if I can't sleep at night, I ask them to help me fucking sleep. If I'm like worried about shit or I got some thoughts going on, I'll literally like just talk to them. Like I'll just be like, hey, you know, blah, blah, I'm going through this and this and this and this. Like, yeah, all the time. Just, they're there for you. Just reach out, okay? We got compromise. No need to worry. Be assertive. I'm going to show you the cards. Compromise, which is like Libra energy and or balance energy. No need to worry. And be assertive. Okay. Now I got all the cards all out of fucking order. The compromise card, I just get balance. I get this balancing of the old and the new and the future. And if you go into future energy, still try to focus on the present moment. It's not always easy to do that, but just focus on the present moment and it's going to give you what you need so it's not so heavy as you're working through the things you need to for that future to open up for you. I just keep getting like focus on the present moment and what's here now. Focus on that and what's here now. I get some grandma energy with this card. I don't know. I just keep seeing this grandma. I don't know how to explain it to you. I just like they keep showing me this like grandma in this card. She just looks really fucking smiley, like just very like happy. Maybe she's coming to visit you in your dreams or something is kind of what it feels like. Has nothing to do with that card at all. With this, no need to worry. This is like spirit saying to give shit up. Like, let it go. Like, you know what you want. It's not give up on what you want in your dream. It's stop like trying to press at it so hard and like just give it up to them. Like, let it go. Just, hey guys, this is what I want. Can you help me get there? And then just trust that you're making all the steps. As long as you're doing things in alignment, you're already naturally working toward that. If the idea came to you and you have this pulling toward it, that was just like them saying, by the way, this is the beginning of the cycle. You're preparing for this. All the stuff is working. They're like laughing, what you're working through to get there. Like it's coming for you. Like, don't worry about it. With this be assertive card, this is actually taking your mask off and really opening up to like Jesus. This is really opening up to like who you are and being your true self. And they keep saying this, like, yes, it's going to trigger certain people, but that's okay. I always say this, triggers are opportunities for like awareness to unhealed traumas or, you know, unresolved emotions and feelings. So, you know, if you use a trigger instead of sitting there and sitting in anger, sitting in emotions and holding on to the emotion, if you look at the trigger and what the trigger is telling you about yourself and you use it as an opportunity for reflection or the deeper reasoning for why you're feeling that way, that's where you're going to heal. That's where things are going to feel better and you're going to understand them. Like, you're going to understand that that trigger happened to teach you something. Like, there's a lesson there. There's something you need to see. So if you reflect on that versus sitting in the emotion and like getting mad at yourself for the emotion, you know, I don't know why I want to pull from this deck too. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking literally go to bed so fucking late tonight. That's all right. Gotta get up early because I gotta go bring my fucking car in to the thing and then I gotta work afterward. All right, let me pull. I don't know, this like deck really was screaming too. Yeah, this card definitely wants to come out. Sing, vocalize, communicate, chant. For some of you guys, you might be seeing birds as a sign from spirit. You'll know if you're seeing pleasure, delight, embrace, open. Ooh, I love this because Taurus season's all about pleasure. We're ruled by the planet of Venus, which is pleasure and love and beauty. Oh, she's so pretty, this like card. I love this. Yeah, just open yourself and be who you are and do things that are good for you. But anyway, this sing, some of you guys might be listening to music and also getting messages in it. Pay attention to the music you're putting on and listen to the lyrics and see if there's any patterns in the type of songs you're listening to. Because it's either giving you a message or showing you something that you're desiring or something you're feeling that you maybe, or it's not clicking for you. With this, it says resilience, strengthen, step up, support. Like, I love this energy. Like, spirit wants you to know how fierce you are. Spirit wants you to know how strong you are. Like, you've got this. Like, you wouldn't be going through this if you can't handle it. And yes, sometimes it feels debilitating. It feels heavy. It feels like a burden. It feels like nothing you do is working out for you. But in those periods of time, you're building internal resilience. You're building the resistance which is helping you grow stronger. And, you know, I've talked about this before. It's the same thing. Like if you're going to the gym and you're, you know, doing like lifting weights that are 10 pounds, that muscle's not going to grow. If you're lifting 20 pounds and 30 pounds and, you know, stronger weights, you're going to be growing. And that's what your light does. The more don't resist stuff, but the more things are, the more you're releasing the past and you're releasing the conditioning and you're getting the new messages, there's this resistance energy that's occurring, that's helping that light grow, that's helping to release all that stuff. So anyway, I hope that this message helped you guys, and I hope you guys all have an awesome night.